And it looks like we're up. And now we present the Fags of Our Fathers, written and read by the author. The Fags of Our Fathers. By Wanetta Renay. This is why homophobia is a terrible evil. It disguises itself as concern, while it is inherently hate. Tyler Oley. Eat shit, fag. The note attached to the red brick reads, Fred and Lucky exchange looks. The note just arrived care of Broken Window Express, which is like Federal Express, only more homophobic. Lucky starts to cry. Fred puts his arms around his weeping lover. He feels so light in his embrace, lighter than air. When Lucky breaks away from his embrace, Fred can see that Lucky's dick is shriveled like a defeated slinky. The anger is boiling up in Fred. This wasn't the first time they had been gay bashed, and it sure as fuck wouldn't be the last. The kitchen, the entire two-bedroom bungalow, smells of Lucky's deliciously spicy tortillas. He learned how to make them from his Mexican mamacita, so they are the real deal. He has his mama's dark brown skin and sexy coffee-colored eyes, only right now they are puffy and red. A show tune is playing in the background. Someone is singing about how high the corn is in Oklahoma. The singer seems to be a little too happy about the state of his crops. Fred is nowhere near happy. Suddenly their cozy little West Hollywood house seems more like a prison cell. Why don't they just leave us alone? Alone, give a dog a bone and let him hone that bone. Alone. Together. Alone. Alone. Fred had spent many nights alone before he met Lucky. He led a teacher's life of teaching and many unpaid hours of correcting papers all alone at his home at night, with gay porn playing in the background. During those long ago nights, he kept himself hydrated with Southern Comfort. Some might have labeled him an alcoholic, but to his way of thinking, he was just an alcohol enthusiast. Of course, he had the poetry that he wrote, those long, lonely nights that garnered him rave reviews, but only in his drunken imagination. Lucky's parents were not happy with their son's attraction to him. They were that rarest and most inexplicable of all people, Mexican Republicans. His dad, Jose III, meaning there were two more of him somewhere, was slightly to the right of Hitler politically, and his mom, Carmela, while by all accounts a great cook and a kinder soul than her husband, she was nevertheless a redneck and brown-faced. She was no beauty either. Looking at her, as she favored him with a patented Latina hate glare from afar, Fred thought Jose would refrain from fucking her anymore. That's the father, of course. He would be better off just using his hand. Hand. And hand. Hard. Hand. Give that man a hand. Let him slam that ham. Hand. The grimy hand, sporting a scorpion and red rose tattoo, reaches through the gap left by the chain lock at the front door. The hand holds a gun. As Fred watches, the hand pulls the trigger. The bullet hits the fridge, shattering the fridge magnets, each commemorating the many places they have lived. The Oswellian bullet glances off the fridge, ricochets off the S&M manacles chained to the wall, sounding something like a stray shot in an old bad John Wayne shoot-'em-up. Finally coming to rest in a framed black and white poster of Allen Ginsberg, giving the beat a beatific, ballistic third eye. Lucky kicks the door closed, bracing it shut with his smooth, nude body. The gun clatters to the highly polished wooden floor. Fred grabs a meat cleaver and does a little impromptu surgery on the hand, caught in the vice grip in the portal. The would-be gunman leaves his bleeding member like a gory calling card. Lucky slams the door shut again and proceeds to engage the manifold locks. The tattooed hand lies at the end of a trail of catsup ichor, still twitching. It's the hand of a young man, uncalloused and smooth, Fred thinks. Yeah, young. Young. Forever. Young. Aging. Never. Young. Theirs was a May-December relationship, meaning Lucky may leave him some December. In the fights they have had in the past, if the fights they had in the past were any indication, Lucky used to harangue him about wanting to date outside the relationship. He used to want to have more freedom, but Fred could never bear the thought of Lucky with another man, and so they often fought. Sometimes coming to blows. But that was all changed now. Lucky stopped complaining, perhaps realizing they had something special together, something a little difficult to describe. Describe. I don't think I can. Describe the love between boy to boy, man to man. Describe. The Schmider describes infinity circles in the air. Its wielder entered the kitchen soundlessly, his ingress demonstrated only by the Disney-esque spill of Fred's Clozaril, Zyprexa, Risperidol, and Complera, knocked over by his entrance. Fred dives for the gun and fires 3 times before the swordsman can execute a death blow. Mr. I've Got a Big Blade falls to his knees faster than a horny drag queen at a ladies' night leather daddy orgy. Fred fires twice more, and Queenie falls forward, cracking his head on the padlock adorning Lucky's hope chest, before swan diving onto the floor, unmoving. Eyes desk glazed, bummy clothes tie-dyed by copious sanguination. Lucky closes his eyes and disappears in midair. Fred looks down at the dead Nazi, his heart filling with equal parts of rage, hatred. Hatred. Yes. Hatred. Yes, yes. Good old hatred. The other cons hated him in the joint. One con caught him while he was out in the yard. At first he thought the muscular, long-haired white guy with the eagle on his chest and the cute little swastika on his arm was punching him. Then he felt the spreading heat in his abdomen, which dissolved into icy cold pain. Before he knew it, he was lying in a pool of his own warm, sticky, steaming blood, listening to the sound of gunfire erupting from the guard tire. Oh yeah, he knew about hate. He knew a great deal about being treated like a piece of meat as well. Meat. Meat. Yeah, baby. Meat. Come and get it. It's amazing how much meat the human body is comprised of, Fred muses. The kitchen smells like a slaughterhouse. Blowflies buzz, an insect mantra, while he packs the last Ziploc bag of human flesh into the spare freezer. It had been easy enough to cut up the intruder's body. The hard part was to find the space to store him, since the other freezer was full to the brim with Lucky's body parts. The latter were a year old, but still as fresh as could be. Isn't science wonderful? Lucky started aging out last year, no longer cute and young. His voice was changing, and he no longer fit into his hope chest, where Fred put him when he was naughty. So it was out with the old and in with the new. And Fred had his eye on a sexy little 12-year-old down the block. Of course, he still missed Lucky. Sometimes it seemed like he was still alive. It was sad still, Fred muses. They could have had dinner together. That was something. And that was the end of The Fags of Our Father, written and read by the author, Juanita Renay. Good night, deadlings.